to discuss, we're joined by the Deputy Leader of Build One South Africa, Nobuntu Hlazo-Webster. Thank you for being with us in studio, Ms. Hlazo-Webster. So I'm correct in saying this is your first foray into politics. You have been in business.
Yes, absolutely. This is my first foray into politics, and I think it's symbolic of what we're doing with BOSA. We want South Africans who are leaders, South Africans who are ready to make a difference, to be part of this formation.
So you think it helps your business background?
I think it absolutely does. I think that, we need people who are in business, we need people who are in civil society, we need everybody to build South Africa.
So why did you decide to step into the political arena? Given how hectic it is at the moment as well, and you're picking this political horse, being the deputy of BOSA, that's how we say it.
That's how we say it. I think I got to a place where I realized that nobody's coming to save us. Where South Africa is right now, we're in trouble. We have unemployment rates that are unprecedented. We are not safe in our own country. The education system does not set up young people for them to be able to, at any point, participate in the economy or help in getting us out of the economic distress that we're in. So you get to a point where you realize that actually there's no big savior coming to save us. If you're a leader, if you have heart for this country, if you have the capability, you realize at some point that actually I've got to put up my hand and I've got to be part of this. And so that's really what it was.
Okay, so we're hearing from you and Mmusi Maimane, sort of a diagnosis of where we are. But what solutions do you offer that nobody else does? Let's talk about youth unemployment. He was picking up on the situation in Soweto, which is reflective of the situation across the country.
Sure. Before we go into youth unemployment, I also just want to say that when you talk about us offering a solution that nobody else offers, the first is that we want homegrown leadership. So we want independent candidates from all over South Africa to be part of this formation, candidates that are chosen directly by communities who are already leading, who are already doing the work. And I think that makes us different and sets us apart.
I need to understand that because, firstly, Mmusi Maimane, under a different platform, was helping independent candidates and seemed to really care about the role of independent candidates in our democracy. So let's start there. Now he's forming a party, but you're saying it's going to link to independent candidates.
Absolutely. So we're at a place where, in terms of the bill, the Electoral Bill, the One SA movement, which Mmusi was chief activist of, has fought for the bill to be amended to be able, or to enable independent candidates to run directly in the elections. And as it is now, it's very clear that independent candidates will not be able to have the same benefits or to have the same kind of advantage that political parties have come the elections in 2024. That's become very clear. But now we're saying that let's continue to encourage homegrown leadership. Let's continue to encourage independent candidates. But let's leverage on a collective power that we have under one umbrella so that we still have homegrown leadership. We still have those candidates. Okay. But we're under one umbrella. But they would have
to be part of BOSA. They would have to be part of a party.
Absolutely.
Which in a sense is giving up on the whole idea of independence, standing independently, is it not?
Absolutely not. We're not giving up. One SA will continue to fight for electoral reform, but we must deal with the cards that we've been dealt. We must, these are the cards that we've been dealt right now. And what we can do is we can say to independent candidates, you can still run. You can still get into parliament. And this is what we're trying to make sure we do while we continue to fight for full participation and full advantage for independent candidates.
It does raise questions. Unfortunately, Mr. Maimane is not in front of me. But was One South Africa really something around independence, or perhaps now a springboard for what he was planning to do with BOSA that we now know?
It was and still is a platform for independence. We are still committed to that. I think that if there wasn't commitment to that, even from Mmusi Maimane himself, this party would have been a traditional party. It would have had the traditional structures, it would have run in the traditional way. But there is still commitment to that. This is still a platform and a formation that seeks to empower independent candidates and seeks to get them to parliament, and will do so come 2024.
Okay. All right, so let's go back to our original discussion about what makes BOSA different.
So you were asking me about youth unemployment. And one of the things that we find important is to invigorate township economies. So we believe that in order to build the economy and in order to build opportunity for there to be work, for there to be jobs in every single township, we need to reinvigorate the township economy. We need to make sure that come 2024 and once we're in government, we are making sure that there's capital for small business, and that we're encouraging entrepreneurship. That also starts in terms of the education that we need to have. The type of education that we need to have in South Africa needs to be an entrepreneurial kind of education that encourages and sets up young people to be able to set up businesses. We truly believe in that.
But as a new party, we don't know what sort of waves you'll make in 2024, but you're talking about overhauling our entire education system.
We're talking about improving our entire education system.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're not in government, how do you do that? Where can you fit in?
So right now, our aim is to get into government, and this is what this is about. This is what we've launched, and we believe that we'll be in government. We wouldn't do this otherwise. We really strongly believe that South Africans are ready. We strongly believe that South Africans want real, genuine change and want people who are authentically leaders and want to see change in South Africa. And we believe that we will be in government come 2024.
Finally, and again, Mr. Maimane is not in front of me. I hope to chat to him soon. But he is still associated to some extent with the DA. Now, some people really supported him within that party. Some supported him when he left and his reasons for leaving. But there was a lot of concern about how independent he was. Actually, even as the DA leader, was he still taking instruction from Helen Zille? That was part of the narrative then. How do you deal with those perceptions that he wasn't his own man then, because that'll affect your political fortunes now?
I mean, if there's those perceptions that were there then as a leader and a founder of a new vehicle now, there's never a time to believe more in the fact that he's his own man. We are doing something that's never been done. We're doing something that actually is hard. We're doing something that's a game changer. It's going against the grain. And I think that it takes somebody who's definitely his own man to do that. It would be easier to just join another political party or to just do something that's already there. But I think in doing this thing, if there was ever a time to realize that this is somebody who's their own man, it's now.
And obviously, as deputy, you believe in the leader of this party.
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't be here otherwise. I said to you before that I came to a place where I realized that I've got to put up my hand and work. But what I didn't tell you is that I've looked for a space to do that for a long time. And I 100% believe in the leadership of Mmusi Maimane in bringing that change to South Africa.
All right. Thank you for being with us in studio. That was Nobuntu Hlazo-Webster, Build One South Africa, Basel Deputy Leader.